Commerce alive today presents
10 even so much more department stores. Hess Brothers, the department store, closed permanently in the mid-1990s. It was a regional chain based in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and its flagship store was demolished in the early 2000s. Originally known as Hess Brothers, the company was founded in Allentown, Pennsylvania, by Charles and Max Hess in 1897. The flagship store on Hamilton Street became known for its luxurious French room fashions, celebrity appearances, and popular holiday events featuring Pip the Mouse. The chain expanded across the mid-Atlantic and southern U.S., reaching nearly 80 stores at its peak in the late 1980s. However, it faced increased competition and economic issues in the early 1990s, leading to the sale of many locations. The remaining 30 stores were sold off in 1994, with the majority acquired by the Bon Ton and May department stores, which converted them into chains like Kaufmann's and Hecht's, later Macy's. The original Allentown building was sold to the city and demolished in 2000 to make way for a new office complex. Magnin was a high-end specialty department store chain based in San Francisco, California, that is no longer in business. The brand was shut down in the mid-1990s after a series of acquisitions and mergers in the retail industry. Mary Ann Magnin and her husband Isaac founded the company in San Francisco in 1876, originally selling high-end infant clothing and later expanding into bridal wear and European fashions. It developed a reputation for luxury goods and exceptional customer service. The chain expanded across the West Coast and into other areas like Chicago and Washington, D.C., known for elegant, architecturally significant stores, such as the White Marble Palace in Union Square, San Francisco. In 1944, the family sold the business to Bullock's, a Los Angeles department store. In 1964, Bullock's merged into Federated Department Stores. In 1988, R.H. Macy Company acquired Magnin and the Bullock's chains. Following Macy's bankruptcy filing in 1992, Federated Department Stores acquired R.H. Macy Company in 1994 and decided to discontinue the Magnin brand entirely. The remaining stores were either closed, converted to other Macy's formats such as Macy's or Bullock's men's locations, or sold to Saks Fifth Avenue in 1994 to 1995. Today, the Magnin name exists only as a house brand owned by Macy's, and the original store buildings have been repurposed or razed. Vintage Magnin clothing items can sometimes be found for sale through online marketplaces. Meier Frank was a prominent American department store chain based in Portland, Oregon, that is no longer in business. It was acquired by Federated Department Stores in 2005 and its remaining stores were converted to Macy's in 2006. German-Jewish immigrant Aaron Meier founded a dry goods store in downtown Portland in 1857. The name Meier Frank was established in 1873 when Emil Frank became his partner. The flagship Meier Frank building in downtown Portland, designed by architect A. E. Doyle, was completed in 1915, covering an entire city block. During the 1930s, it was one of the largest retail outlets west of the Mississippi. After a family dispute, Meier Frank was sold to the St. Louis-based May Company. The stores continued to operate under the Meier Frank name for several decades. In 2005, Federated Department Stores, Macy's parent company, acquired the May Company. All remaining Meier Frank stores were rebranded as Macy's on September 9, 2006. Capwell's was a department store chain that operated in the San Francisco Bay Area and closed in 1996. It was founded in 1889 in Oakland by Harris Capwell. The Capwell stores were eventually rebranded as Emporium, and later converted into Macy's and other retailers. In 1889 Harris Capwell opens the Lace House in downtown Oakland, which later became H.C. Capwell Company. In 1927 Capwell's merges with San Francisco's The Emporium to form Emporium Capwell Company. The stores, however, continued to operate under their individual brands. By 1970 Broadway Hale Stores, later Carter Hawley Hale Stores, acquired Emporium Capwell Company, and consolidated its San Francisco Bay Area operation under the still separate Emporium and Capwell names, finally merging them in 1980 under the Emporium Capwell name, later shortening the name to Emporium in 1990. In 1991, Emporium assumed operation of the Sacramento-based Weinstock's department store chain, which had a similar merchandising structure. By 1995 the chain and its parent by then renamed Broadway stores were acquired by Federated Department Stores, which merged the Broadway, Emporium and Weinstock stores with its own Macy's California and Bullock stores to form Macy's West, renaming all the retained stores as Macy's. The Emporium location at Stanford Shopping Center was reopened by Federated's Bloomingdale's division in 1996, while after a decade of negotiation, bureaucratic red tape and intense physical reconstruction, the former flagship store of the Emporium on Market Street reopened on September 28, 2006, as an expansion of the adjoining Westfield San Francisco Center. Founded on February 7, 1891, by brothers Samuel Horatio Halle and Salmon Portland Chase Halle, the business began as a hat and furrier shop at 221 Superior Avenue in Cleveland. The company moved to a new flagship location at 1228 Euclid Avenue in 1910, a building designed by architect Henry Bacon that was the tallest department store ever constructed in Cleveland. The company expanded to include suburban branches after World War II, including a notable location at Shaker Square in 1948. In 1970, the chain, which had 9 stores, was purchased by Chicago-based Marshall Field Company. The operations deteriorated under the new ownership as it faced increased competition and urban decline. Marshall Field sold the 15 Halle stores in Ohio and Pennsylvania to Associated Investors Corporation, led by Jerome Schottenstein, in November 1981. Despite initial promises to continue the store's traditions, all stores were either sold or closed as part of a liquidation process in 1982. Davison's was a prominent department store chain in the southern United States, primarily centered in Atlanta, Georgia, which was acquired by Macy's and rebranded in the mid-1980s. The store is now defunct under its original name. Davison's was founded as Davison Douglas in Atlanta, Georgia, in 1891. It was a local institution that served as a major competitor to Rich's department store in the Atlanta market. R.H. Macy Company acquired the company in 1925 but kept the Davison's brand name for 60 years, partly to appeal to Southern customers who might have been wary of a Yankee, New York-based store. The primary store was a grand building at 200 Peachtree Street Northeast in downtown Atlanta, which opened in 1927 and was considered the largest department store in the South at the time. It featured a stately marble-floored cosmetics and jewelry area. The chain later expanded to suburban malls such as Lenox Square, Cumberland Mall, Northlake Mall, and Gwinnett Place in Georgia, as well as locations in South Carolina. In the mid-1980s, Macy's began consolidating its regional brands. The Davison's name was officially retired and all its locations were formally renamed Macy's by November 1985. The former flagship store in downtown Atlanta, which operated as Macy's until its closure in 2003, now stands as a mixed-use event venue known as Southern Exchange at 200 Peachtree. Many other former Davison's locations in malls were either redeveloped or still house Macy's stores today. G. Fox Company was a department store chain that originated in Hartford, Connecticut, in 1847 and is now permanently closed. The company was acquired by the May Department Stores Company in 1965, and the G. Fox brand was phased out in 1993. Many of its suburban locations were converted into fill-in stores. The former flagship building in Hartford now houses Capital Community College. Founded in 1847 by brothers Gerson and Isaac Fox, it started as a small storefront in Hartford. After a fire destroyed the store in 1917, an 11-story replacement was built at 960 Main Street, opening in 1918. By the 1950s, G. Fox had become the largest privately owned department store in the United States. Under the leadership of Beatrice Fox Auerbach, it was known for innovative business practices and customer service. During Christmas, the store featured a large walk-through Christmas display, a New England-themed village on its marquee, and a toy department on the 11th floor. The store was a pioneer in presenting home furnishings in residential settings and also included restaurants, a salon, a pharmacy, and a book department. G. Fox was known for its knowledgeable sales staff and convenient services like home delivery. The May Department Stores Company acquired G. Fox in 1965. The G. Fox brand was officially dissolved in 1993, with its stores absorbed by other brands, primarily fill-ins. The Bon Marche was a prominent U.S. department store chain that ceased operations in 2005 after being rebranded as Macy's. The original store was founded in Seattle, Washington, in 1890. Its name was inspired by the famous Parisian department store, Le Bon Marche. After starting as a small dry goods shop in Seattle, the Bon Marche expanded throughout the Pacific Northwest over the 20th century. By the 1980s, it had around 40 stores across Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming. In 1992, Federated Department Stores, which owned Macy's, acquired the parent company of the Bon Marche. The rebranding process began in 2003, with stores renamed Bon Macy's, and was completed by 2005, when the name was officially changed to just Macy's. Lazarus was a U.S. department store chain founded in 1851 in Columbus, Ohio, by Simon Lazarus that operated in the Midwest. It was a founding partner of Federated Department Stores in 1929 and operated until 2005 when its stores were fully converted to the Macy's brand. The chain had many pioneering retail firsts, including using escalators and the concept of a bargain basement. Founded in Columbus, Ohio, by Simon Lazarus, the store began as a small men's clothier. Lazarus became a major department store and a founding partner of Federated Department Stores in 1929. It was a pioneer in retail, introducing innovations like one-price selling, escalators, and the bargain basement concept. As part of the larger Federated Department Stores, Lazarus was rebranded as Lazarus, Macy's in 2003 before being fully converted to Macy's in 2005, which marked the end of the Lazarus nameplate. Despite its closure, the store is remembered for its iconic downtown Columbus location and its popular Christmas holiday displays. Shillito Department Stores, commonly known as Shillitos, was Cincinnati's first department store, founded in 1830. The name was eventually dropped in 1986, and the stores were rebranded, ultimately becoming part of Macy's, Inc. The business began as McLaughlin Shillito, a dry goods store, in 1830. The partnership dissolved, and John Shillito continued the business, moving to a landmark building on the corner of 7th and Ray Streets in downtown Cincinnati in 1878. Shillito's was known for being racially progressive. According to multiple sources, in 1946 it was the nation's first department store to extend credit to African Americans and hire them as salespeople and executives. Its in-store restaurant was also the first in downtown Cincinnati to serve African American customers. The store is fondly remembered by locals for its elaborate, animated Christmas window displays featuring the Shillito elves, a tradition that continues to be displayed in downtown Cincinnati during the holiday season. The Shillito family sold the company in 1928 to the F.R. Lazarus Company. Federated Department Stores merged the Shillitos and Dayton-based Reich's names to form Shillito Reich's in 1982. The Shillito name was dropped entirely in 1986 in favor of Lazarus, which became Lazarus Macy's in 2003, and finally Macy's in 2005.
If you have any fond memories, please indicate it at the comments below. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and like.